Good afternoon from Magdalene Straße, Berlin. My name is Eugen, I love to travel, and yeah, I'm gonna show you today how Berlin is tackling or not tackling the housing crisis. And why is there a housing crisis to begin with? Yeah, why? I'm just giving you a bird's eye view of what's going on, because this is like an area, it's close to Frankfurter Allee, well, not far from it at least, but it's an area that is full with housing. And well, you might be wondering, is this housing like owned by a few private individuals who are like sub-renting it out? Because they look like comic blocks. And yeah, they were designed as comic blocks, most of them. Most of them were here before 1989. So, is this enough to solve the housing crisis? Yes, in my opinion, it's quite enough. But again, the system has to be, I don't know, subsidized by the state where everybody's paying taxes. I don't know, there should be more housing being built, and to make it in such a way that it's hard to own more than one or very few apartments. Because this should be enough for everybody, and if all this housing is basically in the hands of more than a few people, the price cannot be raised until it becomes uncomfortable. Well, interesting. Let's dive more deeply into this area. As you can see, it's very well managed in a way. I really don't know. I don't have enough information to actually make a conclusion here. Are these like people who own these apartments, or are there majority renters here? So what's going on? All of them are like 10-story high, 14-story high. Like in this neighborhood, of a couple of, let's say, alignment of buildings could be like 50,000 people, easily, without being crowded. Let's go further down, because it gets even more and more developed. Well, there's more housing, and much of it is not real. Like, the conditions are okay. Like, honestly, the balconies are very spacious on each apartment. Surprising, they're pretty big balconies, and the cladding is well done. Is being refurbished, or has been refurbished. And yeah, you have huge buildings like this one, 10 stories high, and it goes on for like 200 meters. How many are living in this building, for example? Loads. You have a school, I think this is a school, between the buildings. Yeah. Kindergarten and school over here, so a lot of utilities in this neighborhood. We have some kind of like a central little park, which is not so little. And yeah, as you can see, the playgrounds for the children are really well managed and maintained. So yeah, neighborhoods like this are a solution, as long as they're not being, let's say, used as a cash cow for money from needy tenants that have nowhere to live. Because the purpose of this kind of housing is to get the price down. Get the price down and make it affordable for everybody. In any system, doesn't matter. Communism, capitalism, it really does not matter. This is the main objective of this kind of buildings. And it goes on and on like this. Yeah. This is the main objective. To make living bearable, at least bearable for people to have a normal life, to go to work, come from work, raise a family, you know, these kind of things. And not constantly struggling in like a circle, like a hamster in a wheel, looking for the next contract, Anmeldung, like registration, or just moving neighborhoods every 1 year or 2 years because the contract in the housing, from the housing, has expired. Yeah. So it would be really, really interesting for a statistic to come up in this area or in any other area that has a lot of housing in Berlin, to show exactly how many of these apartments are in private ownership, like, and how many are in companies that own many apartments and they are subletting them, they're renting them out to people to make a profit, and that's it, you know. Because don't get me wrong, okay, it's okay to make a profit, but honestly not on the expense of housing, because this means, okay, even housing, but as long as it's decent. Because having cramped living conditions at high prices means future mental health crisis, means physical health problems, and means crime. So you create all these problems, but by not having these kind of things, and by not, I don't know, by not renting it out at an affordable, correct price that a majority of people could pay. Because, yeah, you can't cover everybody. That is a fact of life. Some people don't want to bother working or to make an income, whatever. But for the person who is making more than minimum wage, he has to be able to live somewhere, at least in a rental, where it's not crowded, and he can have a normal life. That should be non-negotiable in today's society. So it doesn't matter which system you are. Yeah, it does not really matter. Capitalism is not an excuse to sub-rent at high prices for companies to buy the properties in huge volume and then rent it out for a profit and just extort. So yeah, hopefully the Kaltregler is being respected here. Hopefully it's being respected. That means like a third of your income has to be rent. Yeah. Anyway, from Magdalene Straße, I'm telling you to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, so you'll be notified whenever I'm posting something new. And yeah, you know the drill. So far so good. So what? Bye bye.